Kuya Eddie, sabi daw ni Sir Edgar, palakihan tayo ng velocity.
Oh, sige ba? Eh,
Tara.
A few moments later.
Sige Kuya Eddie, mauna na ako ha. Tapos na ako.
hinahamon mo ako ha? Tingnan mo. Mamaya, tatalunin ko ang lampang ito.
So ano sir, sino nanalo?
At ang nanalo ay si Ed.
What? Hey! Anong nangyari sir? Ba't ako nanalo?
Para maintindihan nyo, panoorin nyo ang bidyong ito. Yo! What's up mga show? Welcome back to my vlog, kung saan sa kaalaman hindi kalag. Ito ang Science Eskwela, Matoto at Makwela. Last meeting, we talked about motion of an object, and we have learned that motion can be described by where, by how far, by how fast, and of course, its acceleration. So today, we're gonna know how motion is described by how fast or its speed and velocity. This is the central idea that you will learn in today's discussion, that the motion of an object is not only described by its position or where, it can also be described by its speed and velocity, or what we know as how fast. The most common to us when it comes to describing how fast an object moves is the word speed. You can use or associate the word speed and fast in many different ways. You can say that someone is talking so fast, or you can say that you speed up in answering your modules. But in physics, there is a technical definition of speed. Speed is a rate at which an object covers a distance. Take note that when you say rate, it is always WRT, meaning with respect to time. So, mathematically, speed is distance over time. For example, a car moves 100 meters away from its original position in just 5 seconds. That means speed is the ratio of the total distance traveled by an object in a certain period of time. Therefore, when you say speed, speed is equal to 100 meters, which is the distance covered by the car, over 5 seconds, in which it is the time it takes for the car to reach that certain distance. Therefore, the rate or the speed of the car is 20 meters per second. Speed is a scalar quantity. That is, when you calculate the speed of a moving object, we do not put emphasis on the direction to which the object is moving. In calculating the speed of an object, the direction doesn't matter. Minsan, parang ikaw lang. Mabilis kang tumakbo sabay sa agos ng panahon, pero nabigo ka at nagkulang dahil wala kang direksyon. Speed is actually the total distance over the total time. That means in calculating the speed of an object, direction doesn't matter. For example, an ant walks 6 centimeters to the east in 3 seconds. Then he walks 3 centimeters to the west in another 2 seconds. Therefore, in calculating the speed of the ant, it is the total distance divided by the total time, in which distance 1, the one in green, 6 centimeters, plus distance 2, the one in pink, that's 3 centimeters, over the total time, which is time 1, the time it takes for the ant to reach distance 1, which is 3 seconds, plus time 2, the time it takes for the ant to reach distance 2, which is 2 seconds. Therefore, the speed of the ant is 6 centimeters plus 3 centimeters over 3 seconds plus 2 seconds. Therefore, the speed of the ant is 1.8 centimeters per second. Okay, take note that the unit for speed is the unit for distance over the unit of time. In this case, the unit for distance is centimeter and the unit for time is seconds. Therefore, the unit for speed in this example is centimeters per second. But the standard unit for speed is meters per second. You can convert centimeters per second into meters per second if you want. Your mathematics teacher will tell you how to convert units to the other. Example: a rocket is traveling at 100 meters in just 20 seconds. What is the speed of the rocket? In answering problems like this, don't forget to provide the given in the problem so that this would help you analyze the problem and plan for what is the solution that you are going to make to solve the problem. For example, the given in this problem are the following: 100 meters, that is the distance; 20 seconds, that is the time given in the problem; and of course, what is being asked in the problem is the speed. Therefore, the formula that you're going to use to solve for speed is distance over time. Therefore, speed is equal to 100 meters divided by 20 seconds, and that is equal to 5 meters per second. Therefore, the rocket is moving at a speed of 5 meters per second. Example number 2. A race car is traveling at 85 meters per second. How far does the car travel in 30 seconds? If you notice, what is being asked in the problem is not any more speed. Rather, it is already the distance. So, how do we solve for the distance using the formula for speed? All we need to do is use the magic triangle. If you notice, the three variables, namely speed, distance, and time, is inside the triangle and are separated by two types of lines: the horizontal, higda, and the vertical, varog. Now, how to use the magic triangle? All you need to do is to cover the variable that is being asked in the problem. In this case, it is the distance. So we cover the distance like this. So what is left is speed and time. If the line that separates the remaining variables is vertical, then multiply them to solve the variable being asked in the problem. Therefore, in solving for distance, distance is equal to speed times time. We multiply speed and time, which are the remaining variables, because the line that separates them is a vertical line. Therefore, distance is equal to 85 meters per second in the problem, that is our given speed, multiplied by 30 seconds in the problem, that is the given time. Therefore, distance traveled by the car or the race car is equal to 2,550 meters. Take note that the unit for distance is meter, but mathematically, the remaining unit should be meter, because if you look at the units in our calculation, second for time is numerator, second for speed is denominator. We can cancel second and second, so what is left is meter. Therefore, the distance is 2,550 meters. Sample problem number 3 will show us that in calculating the speed of a moving object, it doesn't require direction. A man walks 5 meters to the east in 5 seconds. Then he walks 5 meters to the north in another 5 seconds. And then he walks further 5 meters to the west in another 5 seconds. What is the average speed of the man? The given in the problem are as follows. 5 meters to the east, that's distance 1. 5 seconds to the east, that's time 1. 5 meters to the north, that's distance 2. And 5 seconds going to the north is time 2. 5 meters west is distance 3. And 5 seconds to the west is time 3. So what is being asked in the problem is actually the speed. Using our magic triangle, we can be able to calculate speed like this. So, cover the variable speed, and then what is left is distance and time. Since the line that separates distance and time is a horizontal one, then we divide distance and time. So in solving for speed, it will be distance over time, because the line that separates distance and time in the magic triangle is a horizontal line. Okay, since in the problem, there are more than one distance given and more than one time is given, in calculating for the speed, all we need to do is just to get the total distance and, of course, the total time. In this case, speed is equal to the total distance over the total time. Therefore, speed is equal to distance 1 plus distance 2 plus distance 3 over time 1 plus time 2 plus time 3. Therefore, speed is equals to 5 meters, that's distance 1, and another 5 meters, that's distance 2, and another 5 meters, and that's distance 3, over time 1, which is 5 seconds, plus time 2, which is another 5 seconds, plus time 3, which is another 5 seconds. Therefore, speed is equal to 15 meters divided by 15 seconds. And that gives you 1 meter per second. Now let's try problem number 4. A race car is traveling at 85 meters per second. How long does it take for the car to reach a distance of 3,500 meters? Given in the problem are as follows. 85 meters per second, that's the speed of the car. 3,500 meters, that's the supposedly distance covered by the car. And of course, time is unknown. Using our magic triangle, we cover the variable time because that is what is being asked in the problem. So what is left is distance and speed. If the line that separates the remaining variable is horizontal, then divide them to solve the variable being asked in the problem. So in solving for time, time is equal to distance over speed, because the line that separates them is a horizontal. So we divide distance by speed. Therefore, time is equal to 3,500 meters, that's the distance given in the problem, divided by 85 meters per second, that's the speed in the problem. Therefore, time is equal to 41.17 seconds. One of the important things that you must know and take note is that the speed that we calculated earlier in the previous problems that we take are actually the average speed of an object, because in reality, the object changes speed over a certain period of time, and that is what we call the instantaneous speed. Instantaneous speed is the speed at an instant of time, and the instrument that measures the instantaneous speed of an object is actually called the speedometer, the one that you can see in cars and motorcycles. Okay, so what is the concept behind instantaneous speed? Say, for example, a car or a bus is traveling from Talisay City to Cebu City, and it takes for the bus, okay, 1 hour to reach the city, and then the distance between Talisay City and Cebu City is 20 kilometers. Therefore, the average speed of the bus is 20 kilometers per hour, and that is a very fast, okay, movement. But if you take note that as the bus travels from Talisay City to Cebu City, minute by minute, the speed of the bus changes. It is because there are other cars and other transportation vehicles that is present in the road. And not to mention, there are stoplights that can cause the bus to stop at a certain period of time within that 1 hour. That is why when we say that the speed of the bus is 20 kilometers per hour, that is its average speed. And that is the difference between average speed and instantaneous speed. Average speed is the total speed of the object as it moves from one position to the other. But when you say instantaneous, that is the speed of an object at a certain period of time within the time that the object is moving. Another important quantity that is used to describe the motion of an object in terms of how fast is velocity. Velocity is a speed in a specific direction. That means it's the speed of an object with respect to the direction that it takes. So the units for velocity is meter per second, just like speed. But speed and velocity are two different things. Velocity is more likely to be a directed speed. This is a speed which we consider the direction to which the object is going to. Mathematically, velocity is the rate of change of position. If you notice, velocity is also a rate, okay, but it is the rate of the change in position. That means velocity is actually displacement divided by time, or the change in position over the change in time. Take note, speed is a scalar quantity. That means we do not put emphasis on direction. But velocity is a vector quantity. That means in calculation, the direction to which an object is taking actually matters in our calculation. Now let us take our previous sample problems for speed to help us understand the difference between speed and velocity. An ant is moving 6 centimeters to the east in 3 seconds, and then moves another 3 centimeters to the west in another 2 seconds. Therefore, in calculating the speed of the ant, speed is equal to the total distance divided by the total time. Therefore, that is distance 1 plus distance 2 over time 1 plus time 2. Therefore, okay, the speed of the ant is 6 centimeters plus 3 centimeters divided by 3 seconds plus 2 seconds. Therefore, the speed of the ant is 9 centimeters divided by 5 seconds. And the speed of the ant is 1.8 centimeters per second. Now, in calculating for the velocity of the ant, it is another thing. Because in speed, we use distance, but in velocity, we use displacement. Therefore, in solving for the velocity of the ant, it is position 1 plus position 2 divided by time 1 plus time 2. Therefore, we can say that Okay, it is positive 6 centimeters to the east. That is what is being given in the problem. Why it is positive 6? It is because east in the number line or going to the right in the number line is a positive value. Plus, the ant is heading towards the west 3 centimeters and it is negative 3 centimeters because in the number line going to the left or going to the west is a negative value divided by 3 seconds plus 2 seconds. Okay, therefore, the displacement of the ant is positive 3 centimeters. How did we get positive 3? All we need to do is mathematically add the two numerical values, in which in this case, positive 6 centimeters plus negative 3 centimeters is equal to positive 3 centimeters. When it comes to the direction, why is it that the direction in our answer is east? It is because the ant is heading towards east. Okay, 6 centimeters and 3 centimeters to the west. If you notice, the value of the direction east is greater than the value of the direction west. In this case, 6 is greater than 3. Therefore, the direction that you're going to take in your answer is the east. Therefore, it is positive 3 centimeters to the east divided by 5 seconds. Therefore, the velocity of the ant is positive 0.6 centimeters per second to the east. Another example to help us understand the difference between speed and velocity mathematically. A man walks 5 meters to the east in 5 seconds. Then he walks 5 meters to the north in another 5 seconds. And then he walks further another 5 meters to the west in 5 seconds. The given in the problem are as follows: 5 meters east, 5 seconds, 5 meters north, 5 seconds, 5 meters west, and another 5 seconds. So what is being asked in the problem is speed. So in this case, we can be able to use our magic triangle. Using our magic triangle, we cover our speed because that is what is being asked in the problem. So what is left is distance and time. The line that divides distance and time is horizontal. Therefore, in solving for speed, we divide distance over time. So speed is distance over time in this example. Therefore, speed is the total distance divided by the total time. Speed is equals to distance 1 plus distance 2 plus distance 3 divided by time 1 plus time 2 plus time 3. In this example, 5 meters plus another 5 meters plus another 5 meters divided by 5 seconds and another 5 seconds and another 5 seconds. Therefore, speed is equal to 15 meters divided by 15 seconds. Therefore, the speed of the man is 1 meter per second in this example. The velocity of the man, on the other hand, is calculated like this. Velocity is displacement over time. Therefore, we need to calculate first the displacement of the man. That means we consider the direction to which the man takes. So, in this case, displacement is equal to 5 meters to the east plus another 5 meters to the north and negative 5 meters to the west. In this problem, we cancel east and west because they are of opposite direction. And then we add two values of the same sign, and that is positive 5 and another positive 5. Therefore, displacement is equal to positive 5 and the remaining direction is north plus negative 5. Therefore, positive 10 plus negative 5 is equal to positive 5 meters going to the north. In this example, our displacement is described in this green arrow. The green arrow tells you that the displacement of the man is the distance from its original position to its final position. That's why it is clearly illustrated in that particular illustration that displacement is positive 5 meters because it is parallel to the red one and it is going to the north. Therefore, we are sure that our answer is correct. And in that case, you can say that calculating speed is different from calculating velocity. Therefore, speed and velocity are two different things, even though both of them describes a rate at which the object is moving. Speed is a rate of an object as it travels a certain distance, but velocity is actually the rate at which the object actually covers a displacement. Another example, an athlete runs around a track that is 100 meters long 3 times in 50 seconds. Then after 50 seconds, after 3 rounds, in 50 seconds, he stops. If we calculate the speed of the athlete and its velocity, then we can say that velocity and speed are two different things. For example, the speed of the athlete is distance divided by time. It is very obvious that he ran 3 loops or 3 rounds, which is 100 times 3 is 300 meters divided by 50 seconds. So the speed of the athlete is 6 meters per second. But when you calculate the velocity of the athlete, velocity is displacement over time. If you notice that the initial position of the athlete on the red dot is the same as its final position. Therefore, there is no difference between initial position and the final position. Therefore, the displacement is 0. Anything multiplied or divided by 0 is 0. That's why the velocity of the athlete is 0.
Kaya pala ako natalo. Real talk time!
Flip top! Buwelta Palentong 4! Huling laban na ng gabi! Nandito pa rin! B-side Makati! 2x2 ang laban na parating! Flip top! Magigay uling best para sa Buwelta Palentong 4! Unang panat, pahiga natin!
Yo! What's up? Shout out sa mga estudyante kong panay laro sa computer shop. Here we go! Talaga bang dyan ka na lang ba? Buong araw kang nagdudota. Pag-aaral ay sinasantabi. Sa laro, ikay nahuhumani. ROS, Valorant o Crossfire. Lahat iyan sa kakayahan mo'y unti-unting pumapatay. Kaya ikaw ito'y makinig ka. Akala mo ba ang mundo ay playground? Mag-isip ka. Mga video games na lumalason sa kakayahan mong mag-isip. Mga pangarap mo'y unti-unting sinisip-sip. Di mo ba alam na walang reset ang buhay? Walang revive at walang buyback na nakaantabay. Wala ring pause. Ang F9 ay walang use. Kaya kung ako ikaw, huwag kang makonfuse. Piliin mo ang importante, piliin mo ang bukas. Huwag kang dumaan sa madilim na bakas. Isipin mo, ang rank na nakamit mo sa laro, may rollback bawat season at siguradong mahihinto. Pero ang mga achievement at panalo mo sa buhay, never itong nananakaw ng kahit kaninong kamay. Gamitin sa tama ang kakayahan mong taglay. Bigyan ng kaligayahan ang nagsusumikap mong nanay at tatay. Huwag kang magdalawang isip at huwag kang mangamba. Ngayon ka kumilos dahil ang flip top na ito'y time na! In summary, speed is a scalar quantity. That means it expresses magnitude only. And in calculation, the direction of an object is not being considered. The unit of speed is meter per second because speed is the ratio of distance divided by time. Speed is the rate at which an object covers a distance, and rate is always with regards or with respect to time. Instantaneous speed is the speed of an object at a particular time. Velocity is a vector quantity. And for our next topic, my question is, when can you say that an object accelerates? You will know the answer to this question on my next video tutorial. For now, goodbye!